Well friends, I warned you that this is happening and now it is finally here and I am so excited. It is a video discussion of Rey's character from Star Wars The Force Awakens. I absolutely love Rey. It should be no surprise. I have a poster over there. You can see her feet next to Katniss. A little BB-8. I have a poster for her already. That's how much I love her. There's just so much I need to say about Rey because Rey is a breath of fresh air for female characters. Let me just start off by saying that if you haven't seen Star Wars and don't want to be spoiled about anything at all, even though I've already spoiled you because according to the toy companies, I guess it's a spoiler that Rey is actually in Star Wars. I mean, I didn't, so oops, sorry guys about that. But if you don't want to be spoiled for anything that happens in the movie, aside from Rey actually being in the movie, shocker, I know, thank you for stopping by, but I will have to see you in the future after you've seen the movie and you're as obsessed with Rey as I am because she is wonderful and amazing, and Daisy Ridley, who plays her, is just as wonderful and amazing, and I have so much to say. So thank you for stopping by, but bye for now, non-spoilers. Alright, Rey, like I said, I love her because she's a female character that isn't written or like shown as a female character. Their whole demeanor is just very practical. So many Rey scenes that I loved in Star Wars, but one of the things that I really have to hand the writers to, and I really hope that they continue this in 7 and 8 and don't ruin her character, is that they portrayed a female character without using any of the stereotypes of female characters when they're usually around a bunch of male characters. For example, I thought one thing that would definitely happen in this movie was like there would be a scene where they got away and then they had to change and Rey was changing and you had like a moment of like Finn like looking at her as she's changing and then BB-8's like, no, you can't do that. That's my BB-8 impression. And you see it a lot of times when a female character is kind of surrounded by male characters, where you see like a male character kind of trying to like look at her in the mirror as she's changing. It was even in Iron Man 2 with Black Widow. And I for sure thought that was going to be something that happened because I thought it was something that's just kind of like a given. You just like have to sexualize this female character, especially when she's around male characters. It's just something that's always done. And I was like so not looking forward to it. And then when we got to the end of the movie, I was like, they didn't do it, and I just like slow clapped it out. I was like, thank you for not sexualizing Rey. Like, Rey was just Rey. She was who she was badass, and she was amazing. And that brings me to my next point. She was badass. A lot of people, when they originally saw the movie, one of their like least favorite scenes was when Rey got kidnapped because everyone's like, oh no, here we go, damsel in distress, she is going to have to like get saved by Finn and by Poe and she's gonna like be weak and start crying and blah blah blah. No, she was freaking amazing and surprised us all because one of my favorite scenes was in the beginning when Finn saw her getting beat up or attacked by those people in Jakku and he goes over to like save her and she just decks those guys in like 2 seconds flat and he's like, oh, well, I guess she doesn't need my help. So that was an amazing scene, and then she started to chase after him. That whole thing was amazing because that's where I started to get a little hopeful that I was like, are they gonna make a female character that's actually badass but like isn't badass because she has 4 brothers or something like that? Like that was another thing that wasn't like, oh, where'd you learn to fight? I had 4 brothers that taught me how to fight. Like she just learned how to fight because it was her way to survive. She learned how to pilot because it interested her, which was absolutely amazing and different because usually like if you do see a strong female character, it's because she's had some kind of tragic backstory. And yes, Rey's is tragic in a way because her family or whoever left her on Jakku, but it's not like she has some like past abuse that she has to get over or anything like that, or some trauma that we see a lot with female characters nowadays. Like a lot of them are sexually assaulted. Somehow they're used like to further a man's character, or their like control or power is taken away from them before they can become more powerful. And that was not the case with Rey. The only smidge we had of that was in the Kylo Ren scene when he was interrogating her, and we kind of thought like, oh, this is gonna go down. He's gonna like smack her around, get inside her head, make her cry, and she's gonna like give up and then all of a sudden be more powerful. But no, Rey did not do any of that, which was amazing. Rey fought back, and that is absolutely one of my favorite scenes when he's like trying to get in her mind. Instead of like shrinking back like she originally was, she started like pushing forward the more she was getting into his mind. And she could finally like get into his mind and rattle Kylo Ren. And the thing I think you have to understand is because a lot of people walked out being like, oh, Kylo Ren is such a wimp, like what the heck, like Rey defeated him in 2 seconds and he's supposed to be this big hotshot. Like he is. He demonstrated that he has a lot of powers. For example, when he read Poe's mind after no one else could get into Poe's mind, and when he stopped the blaster that Poe shot at him and held it in midair, that takes a tremendous amount of capability and concentration and use of the Force. So Kylo Ren is very, very strong in the Force, and it's been hinted that he is very strong in mental manipulation too, like getting in people's minds. minds. He's kind of like their leader for that. So it's not that Kylo Ren isn't strong. Kylo Ren is one of the strongest Force wielders that we have in the Star Wars universe. It's just that Rey, untapped and like new, never having used the Force before, is so much stronger than him, and that goes to show you how strong she is. It's like if everyone else is like down here, Kylo's up here, and Rey is like way up here, because that was just like her just discovering the power for the first time, and she was able to read his mind and then also trick a stormtrooper into letting her go, and she was just so freaking amazing. Like, I absolutely love Rey, and this is why we need more female characters like Rey. And I have to say, 2015, aside from the whole debacle with Black Widow and some other female characters, if you look at Mad Max, if you look at Jessica Jones, if you look at Rey, they are showing a very strong trend towards strong women who are strong because they are just people. Rey in particular was the only one I feel like who was just strong. She didn't have any like past abuse. She didn't have any really truly tragic backstory. She didn't have any scene where her being a woman was used against her. Like, no one made like sexual gestures at her, sexual jokes. No one used her sexuality against her, which was a really great thing. We didn't have to go through anything. No one like attacked her or leered at her or anything. She was just who she was, and she was living her life, and that was amazing and really inspiring for a lot of girls. For me, I never really liked Star Wars because of the lack of girls that it had in the characters. I just never liked it growing up. I didn't get into it, and I know they had Leia, and I liked Leia until they did the bikini scene, and I was just like, really, we have the strong female character, and we're reducing her to a prisoner, a prize that's just like in a bikini and nothing more than that. So I'm really hoping that they stick with this trend of having Rey just be Rey and not having her being a woman used against her, have her treated or interrogated or anything in a way that would be different from a man. And I think it's just amazing to see on screen, because my absolute hands down favorite scene was when she was fighting Kylo Ren, and Kylo Ren like went to grab the lightsaber, and it's like twitching, and you're like, oh no, Kylo's gonna get it, what's happening? And then it flies right past his face and into her hand, and I was just like, this is amazing. This girl has discovered she had Force powers like an hour ago, and this lightsaber is already like realizing that she's the true wielder of it. She's the light one. Kylo Ren's face was just like, are you kidding me? Like, after all I've been through, all the people I've killed, this person gets it? Are you serious? But it wasn't anything. It was just because she was Rey, because she's true, because she's light, and it's amazing, and it's so inspiring. And I mean, I love Star Wars for it, because I love the fact that she's a female character, and it's never not once mentioned or hinted at that she's a female. Like, she could be written the exact same way as a guy, and no one would see any differences. She's treated just like a guy character would, and I am absolutely here for it. This is going to be the trend of new female characters who are just strong for being strong, and it doesn't matter if they're a woman or a guy, they're treated the same, and I'm so here for it. So I'm so excited for episode 8, but I'm hoping they also continue with this trend and don't ruin Rey's character, because J.J. Abrams is not writing it anymore. I love Rey. She held her own against Kylo Ren. She held her own against all these people, and I love it. I have to say, I love it. Nothing makes me happier than that battle she had at the end with Kylo Ren, because that was freaking amazing. I never ever in my wildest dreams would have imagined that the final battle in Star Wars Episode 7 would have been between a girl and Kylo Ren. Like, everyone else got beat up, couldn't handle Kylo Ren, and she was just stepped up and was like, I'm here, I can take this. Thank you very much. So I am absolutely in love with Rey, in case you can't tell, and Daisy Ridley is just as awesome and just as cool as Rey is, and I'm just so here for Rey. I love Rey. So if you love Rey as much as I do, please feel free to leave your thoughts about her character down below and how much we don't want her to be messed up in the next 2 episodes. So please, Star Wars writers, please do not mess her up. And also make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching it. Also subscribe to my channel down below to be told when I make all sorts of new videos. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!